Today I'm going to go in depth explaining how the Globus M planetary map works inside of the game. We're going to talk about traveling, locations, and survival stats, and day and night cycles, and all that. But first, we're going to start out with how this project began and how the entire game began. So, I wanted to make a kind of old school RPG akin to the original Fallouts went into in the way they would handle like map locations and stuff. You'd have this big area map, and inside of it you could travel to like set locations and stuff. But if you went somewhere else other than those set places, the game would kind of just throw you into a smaller map with like some stuff going on. And I kind of realized like that's a really good way to handle a very large map and fill it with stuff to do without making a big single load cell giant map like we have now in a lot of games. I just can't handle all that as one person. It'd be way too much work. I came up with this. I wanted to give an entire planet the same way that Fallout 1 gave players California. Making a flat map of a globe doesn't quite map well onto a flat space. There's a lot of problems with that. The globe is three-dimensional. You can see that in all kinds of maps we have of the Earth. There's going to be some distortion, and it's just going to mess things up. So I went with a globe, and I remembered this old kind of orbital computer from like the 60s that the Soviets used. And it looked really cool too, so I designed this entire UI heavily inspired by that. In its first version, I just wanted to be able to get it to be controllable and have a travel animation. So let's get into how traveling works. We can move any place on the globe. Our range is limited by the amount of air and electricity we have. If we run out of air, we die. If we run out of power, we will move slower, and it's more like we'll run out of air. But let's go somewhere fairly close, like right here. Yep, we'll travel for 3 days and 10 hours. Let's do it. Okay, here we've had an encounter. So I took this idea from tabletop games. I wanted to break up traveling with interesting occurrences that happen, random attacks, interesting places to explore. As of now, this is just a notification that sometimes interrupts. So we are short of our goal there, but that's okay. Let's see how the save locations work. So on the D-pad, I can scroll up and down. I have a whole bunch of these that are hidden right now because they're not unlocked yet. So going to these works the same way as traveling, except we're going to a specific location that will always be here. It is possible to stumble upon these. I'm not too sure how easy it is to do because they are small areas compared to the globe. But let's travel to the city of Dome in about 12 days and 3 hours, my bad. So you can see we get dirtier as we travel because Martian dust just gets everywhere, and we are traveling a long, long ways on the planet. This is one hell of a march. So we have arrived. It's not always supposed to say interesting. It's a small bug. But now we are here and there's a blizzard. We're in a new map. Very, very far from where we were. Resting. When you press the Y button, and if you have a food ration in your inventory, you can consume that and rest for 6 hours. So this will pass the time and heal you, but it will all at the cost of air and power, because time is still going on. You're passing the time here. So let's do that. It's in increments of 6 hours in order to make it so doing this 4 times will cycle through an entire day. in case you want to like change the lighting where you are, or just any reason you would want to pass time here. So here we are at night. So this is the Globus M and all of its forms and functions. Thank you for watching.